Hey guys, or JC, two people in here. I guess that's guys. um, can you guys hear me? How's the audio? Okay, I've got this little microphone here. I bought a little microphone for doing voiceovers when I'm editing video on the road. I don't have my mic, so I don't know if that's better than the mic that's in the laptop. I would think so. So, everybody doing? God, wow, 38 people in here already. Where am I now? I thought I titled the video. Didn't I put a description on the video about where I'm at? I'm in Myrtle Beach. I made it. I made it, guys. I made it. That old Chevy made it all the way across the United States. Can you believe that? I didn't even break down. Ran out of gas a couple times, but it didn't break down. Isn't that amazing? Well, Greg, I just got here too. It's only been going on about a minute. You haven't missed anything. Not that there's much to miss anyway, but how far am I going? I'm here, man. I made it. I thought I put on the video. Didn't it up somewhere that says where I'm at? Help me out, guys. You see it? Yeah. Oh, you know what? You guys are missing out because you don't follow me on Instagram. You would have seen all the heavy Chevys if you've been watching Instagram. Go to Waylon Wire at Instagram. Yeah, I'm glad I made it, and I'm glad the car made it. It'd be tough if the car made it and I didn't. I'd hate that. That'd be a bad day. Okay, thanks, JC. I thought I put something on there about Myrtle Beach, but maybe I didn't. I'm old, and I don't remember everything that I do. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Rob. I thought so. I thought it said Myrtle Beach. Uh, maybe I'm not as senile as I thought I was. I probably am. I'll tell you what, guys, I am proud of that little car. Oh, that little Impala has done me proud. Hey, Brian. Hey, guys. Yep, heater and the lights, that's all fixed. That's all on Instagram too. But, well, the dash lights don't work, but that ain't no big deal. I got flashlight hanging on the radio knob. No, Mike, I'm not coming home the same way. It's going to be cold. It was cold coming this way up there in eastern Montana and North Dakota and Minnesota. No, I ain't going back that way. I got to go south. I'm going south anyway. I'm going to Arkansas anyway. So there'd be it wouldn't make much sense for me to go to Arkansas and then go all the way back to Minnesota. Because it's a Chevy. That's right, Ray. Yeah, Faye. It's the good car, Faye. You're right about that. Well, I was looking at the video. It looks like my cheeks are swollen. It looks like I look like a chipmunk with a bunch of walnuts in my cheeks, but I'm not sick. I just look sick, I guess. thanks, thanks, Junker. Man, that'll buy me a third of a gallon of gas. Buy a drink. Okay, I got it right here. Appreciate you, man. That's kind of you. You guys don't need to make donations, but it's really kind of you. That's thoughtful. My boss, I couldn't afford to make this trip, um, but the company I work for is paying for it. Yeah, I'm gonna go see our peak. Thought I was gonna be there tomorrow, but I'm not gonna make it. I just man, I just run out of the day got too full. I stopped in where did I stop in Fayetteville and visited my granddaughter for a while. Yeah, that's right, Ray. I'm gonna go see Danny Brown. He's not in very good health, and I'd like to see him one more time before one of us kicks a bucket. So I'm gonna swing by there. He don't know I'm coming, so shh, don't tell him. Don't tell him. And he's in Mountain View, Arkansas, and I got a nephew there too. So I'm gonna be there for a couple days probably. Definitely get your light. Oh man, the lights and heaters have been fixed a long time. They've been fixed for over a week. Sorry, you're broke, man. You don't have to be sorry, man. I appreciate it. You don't have to do that. That was really nice of you, Junker. I ain't complaining. That was very kind of you. Yes, I did, Rob Smith. See, you guys ought to be on Instagram. You'd have the scoop. You know what? I was hoping to make videos along the way, and I just haven't had time. It's proven to be very, very difficult to do videos on the road. Hello, Yakima Valley. Uh, Thanks, David. Glad you're here. Appreciate you. Hope you're a subscriber. Um, yeah, I just have not. I have not had a chance. I told my son earlier today he was going to try and help me get the files transferred. It's it's proven very difficult to get. Um, the video files are so big, it's hard to get them uploaded. I was going to edit remotely while I'm on the road. I was going to remote into my computer at home because then I got all my editing software and everything. But it's been difficult to get the files to the cloud because they're so big. It was going to take 91 hours to transfer them, and I'm not in any one place that long. Ain't no grass growing under old Waylon. I'm moving right along. Um, I hope USMC. I hope it makes it back okay. Um, it's been doing really good. I got to Mr. Heavy Chevy's and we did a few little tune-ups. There's old DD Speed Shop book first and oh yeah, Dan. Oh, you're killing me, dude. Oh, DD Speed Shop. Don't we have any moderators in here? Oh, oh man. Uh, uh, I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying it immensely. I have had so much fun. And I'll tell you what, guys, when you see the video, um, Mr. Heavy Chevy's, now that was a trip, man. We had a blast, and I'm not going to spoil it, but boy, we had some fun, and it was hilarious too. Of course, we broke down, not in my rig or his, but a buddy of his. He's got this old DeSoto. Oh my gosh, we had a good time with that. I know, DD. I've been messing with you too. I'm just messing with you with my messages. I know you're busy, man. I didn't expect you to get back to me right away, and I was just carrying on, being silly, and but I had to give you a hard time. See, old DD Speed Shop. I was telling him earlier in a message. I sent a message to Danny. I said he won't talk to you anymore since he's in the upper muckety muck now. He's rubbing elbows with all them TV celebrities, so he ain't got time for the little guy anymore. I was laying it on him pretty good, but he knows I'm joking with him. Boy, Rat Rod Bob beat him up pretty bad. I was kind of pissed when I saw that. I wasn't happy about that at all. That was uncalled for, and I need to shut up about that because I don't need to be going on about that. Oh, well, thank you, Frank. I'm glad you like them, and I hope to keep making. Well, I got a ton of footage. I just haven't had time every day. I think I'm gonna okay today or tonight. I'm gonna make videos, and then it just can't. Um, how to loosen stuck spark plugs without snapping them off? Well, you know, depends on what they're in. If I'm putting in an aluminum block, I always put some anti-seize on them on the threads. But it's kind of important too to have a spark plug wrench. It's got the rubber inside, so you don't bust the porcelain if that's what you're talking about. But if you twisted them off, I don't know how to get them out. Heat is a wonderful thing. If you can get some heat on the head, they'll loosen up. I don't waste my time anymore. I used to battle stuff and fight it, and I don't anymore. I just first thing I get is it just acts like it's going to give me trouble, and I grab the torch and I say, "Listen, feller, I'll fix you. Yeah, you do deserve it, Dan." I don't know. One of my videos. Well, I was talking to Mr. Heavy Chevy about it too. I picked up a little piece of scrap metal about that big, and just a twisted up little mangled piece of scrap. And I said, "You give this old DD Dan, and he'll make a nomad out of it." uh, I know you put in the time, buddy. You deserve all the success you can possibly drain out of YouTube. Whatever you can glean or suck out of it, man, you deserve it. But yeah, I was joking around about DD Dan can make a nomad out of a pop can. uh, Thanks, Tony. Yeah, I'm having a good time, and that old Impala's been having a good time too. Um, yeah, it's I got a little issue right now. I got to Mr. Heavy Chevy's, and I noticed the day before it was rattling a little, pinging like bad gas or something, and I never had done that before. And I put some regular in it one day, and boy, it pinged to high heaven. And I said, "Well, I won't do that again." But it was pinging a little, even on premium. And I got down there, and Mr. Heavy Chevy, he's got a little vacuum pump, little hand pump. And he found out there was no the vacuum canister on the distributor was leaking. I had no vacuum. I had no vacuum advance. So he had one there. He took off of another distributor and put on it, and now it's too much vacuum. And I kept retarding. We kept retarding it. His timing light was loaned out to somebody, and so he didn't have a timing light, and we kept retarding it and just setting it by ear. And that's how we used to always do it. Uh, I'm always giving DD Dan a bad time because he ain't got no hills around there. And I said, "Man, I don't know how you set your timing without a hill, because that's how we used to do it. Just go up a hill. If it pings, you back her off a little. But um, I kept retarding it, and still pinging, So it's getting too much advance, and I stopped today and bought a timing light. And sure enough, there's a guy commented on the video. He said, "Man, you were 10 miles from my house, but I didn't have any way to tell people in advance where I was going to be because I haven't been able to put up videos." And but I stopped and bought a timing light, and I set the timing. It was way, way retarded. So when you set the timing light or the timing where it's supposed to be, then you got too much vacuum, and it actually runs better just on the mechanical vacuum without the vacuum or the mechanical advance without the vacuum. I finally wound up just pinching the hose off today, and I had a little tiny pair of vice grips in my rat rod toolbox, and I pinched that hose off, and it runs better that way. But I'm going to mess around with adjusting the vacuum on that. I just haven't had time. I had somewhere I had to be today, and I needed to get here to the coast. I needed to see the ocean today. Boy, I drove right up to it, and I left Impala prints in the sand. And I wrote 1963 Impala and Waylon wire. I wrote in the sand, man, and I left my tire prints in the sand so that the forensics can use that as evidence to prove that I was actually on the East Coast at the Atlantic Ocean because I left prints there. How messy was Mr. Heavy Chevy's workbench? You know, he cleaned his shop before I got there. It was pretty much spotless. The floors had been swept, both bays. Well, that 57 was on the lift, but we rolled it outside. And hey, Captain Tom, thanks, man. Thanks. He's a moderator. Captain Tom, you got to keep an eye on DD Speed Shop. He's been getting a little unruly tonight. Every time I laugh, I shake the computer. I'm just having too much fun. Nah, carbon buildup in the pistons. No, I don't think so. It's a vacuum. I mean, it changes. The vacuum changes it, and I'll get it. I just haven't had a chance to tinker with it yet. But that little car, man, yeah, Waylon stays up past 9 sometimes. Yeah, I know. I bought some non-ethanol yesterday, Oscar. But that car, I drove it 1,800 miles, and then I put in less than a quart. And I'll check it tomorrow. But when the oil's clean, it don't burn any. It don't use any oil. But I didn't realize I had 3,000 miles on that oil, and so I changed it at Mr. Heavy Chevy's yesterday or Friday. But anyway, I got it changed. So when it's clean oil, it don't use oil. It's leaking a little bit. It don't burn oil anyway. It doesn't smoke a lick. I got a valve cover leaking a little bit, which, it's a small block Chevy. What do you expect? But I'm gonna get some valve covers and put them on when I get to our peaks. I'll put on the valve covers and try to get that stopped. But man, it's just been really good. I mean, just little things that you'd expect with an old Chevy. But yeah, I'm out in public. Yeah, I'm out in public. I'm out in public every day. What was I saying? I'm pretty tired. I put in a pretty long day today. I don't know. I already derailed my thought. It left me. Whatever I was saying. I guess I was talking about putting valve cover gaskets on there. But I know what I was going to tell you. I brought half my shop with me. I've got jack stands in there, and it's them big ones too. It ain't the little ones. It's some great old big ones, and I got them. And man, I got a toolbox with half of my tool chest in it, sockets and wrenches. I was going to go to. I took care of the lifter before I left, Captain Tom. I just had a loose tappet. I adjusted the valves before I left, and it got rid of that. It was all that time I thought it was a lifter. It was just a loose tappet. So once I checked it out, I started checking things out on this car that I hadn't done. But when you're getting ready to go on a trip, you're a little more meticulous. But I loaded up the trunk. Man, I got a floor jack in there. I got a sleeping bag. I got insulated coveralls. I got tarps to lay on and jack stands. And I was going to go to Harbor Freight and buy a set of tools and throw in there so I wouldn't have to rob my toolbox at home. But when you go to buy a set of tools like that, they're half metrics. And I wasn't going to pay $150 for 75 of that for tools I wouldn't need. I don't need any metrics on that Chevy, and I'm real happy about that. So I just went home and I bought a little toolbox and put my stuff from home in it. And I drove all the way to Wisconsin, and the only thing I used was a pair of wire strippers and a screwdriver. I had to tighten that visor. That visor kept falling down my face, and I'd shove it up and fall down. And I'd shove it up. You know how they are. Hey, Cindy, the sound system. Oh, yeah, I got the sound system working while I was at my daughter's house. That's my daughter in there, Lucinda. Yeah, when I was there, I hooked up my boom box, my Bluetooth speakers. Man, it's got a sound too. It'll make some noise. But yeah, I used a screwdriver, tightened up that visor, and other than that, I didn't do no wrenching on it until I got to Chevaholics, and then I had my heater core shipped there, and we put that in. It was awesome, man. I met him, and I'd never met the man. But I pulled in and we shook hands, and 5 minutes later, we were wrenching on that old Chevy, just as it should be. I mean, all was right with the world. We were wrenching on that old car, and that was a blast. But he helped me put that heater core in. It's kind of nice to have a guy on the inside and a guy on the firewall, and I let him do all the heavy lifting, getting to those real hard bolts, hard to get to. So I acted like I was busy, pretending to be busy, whining about not being able to do something. And he said, well, I'll give you the easy job. Oh, we had so much fun. And then, but it's all in the videos. It's coming. I'm telling you guys, I just haven't been able to make videos. Cindy, mother, she could attest to that. I was trying to load files. It was going to take 91 hours, and it just wasn't working. But that one video I put up, I went to the library and loaded up in 8 minutes. So I go, well, that's a pretty good deal. But yeah, while I was at my daughter's house, I got this great big old. It's like 8-inch PVC, and curves around. I've got a big speaker in the end, and it's hollow in between. And boy, that thing puts out some sound. But it's Bluetooth, so I just put a receptacle in there. My cigarette lighter didn't work, and I couldn't get to the back of it to put a power to it. The wire's just missing. It's all that's wrong with it, but it's really crowded under that dash, and I couldn't get a wire up there. But that boom box came with a receptacle, and I wired that in. So I just plugged that in, and I've got my little chargers. I can charge my phone while I'm going down the road, or my laptop, or whatever I need to do. But it's going really good. I just brought way more tools and stuff than I need. Don't need jack stands. Didn't need a floor jack. Don't need any of that. But I got it. It's better to have it and not need it. But I've had a blast, and there was a Mustang started past me the other day, and I stomped on the gas, but he got about halfway around me, and I stomped on the gas, and of course there was no way I was going to outrun that Mustang. It's new, but he got a kick out of it. He pulls up next to me and rolled down his power window, which I ain't got, and he gave me the old okay, and he was laughing. And another one today pulled up beside me, and it was a hot rod, man. And he rolled down his window, and we we had a little talk, and I took video, and I said, "You're going to be on YouTube." And it's been really fun because people have been commenting now on my YouTube channel, and they're saying stuff like, because I got it on the back window of my car. It says wire, and it's got the YouTube insignia. So I picked up a lot of subscribers because people going down the highway see that. But there's been some really good comments. One was said, "Well, I'm following right behind you," and they commented on my YouTube page. And I thought, well, I hope you're the passenger, not driving and commenting on YouTube. But another one was, "Hey, we saw you going through North Dakota." And then somebody said, "We saw you in town last night." Oh, truth. What's the truth, Cindy, about what am I truthing? What am I finally telling the truth about? I am living the dream, Captain. I'm just, I mentioned it. It's like a dream. It feels like I'm in a dream because I can't believe that old car is 4,000 miles from home. And a friend Warren, he said, "No, you're not having a dream. You're living the dream." And boy, that's right. It's one of the best vacations I've ever had. I don't usually get too far from the house, but boy, I've had fun. I had a great visit with my kids, and I've just had a good time everywhere I went. And heavy Chevys, they're just like family, you know. She comes out of the house and gives me a big old hug, and she watches all my videos, so she knows my weakness. And here she come carrying a big old quart jar full of iced tea. That was really sweet of her to do that. And they're just fun people. Got a sense of humor. Couldn't upload because you're getting good footage, but you're getting good footage. Yeah, I am. I've got a lot of good footage. And Cindy, wait till you see. Wait till you see what happened at Heavy Chevy's. We were driving this car, his old car, his buddies, this old rat rod, and it broke down and the fan quit. And I don't want to spoil it, but it was hilarious. It was hilarious. I'll tell you this much. The guy that owns the car, he had shoulder surgery. So he had a broken wing. He had it in a sling and everything. And he's in there with his left hand trying to wire up that fan. And I said, yeah, let the cripple do it. So then Mr. Heavy Chevy takes over and he borrows the other guy's knife and he sliced his hand open. I said, well, between the two of you, you got a pair of hands. But it was hilarious. The door flew open on that thing, the back door. It's got suicide doors. It's a 47 DeSoto. It's got suicide doors. And the back door came open, and his son, he used to be called him Little Man, but young man we call him now because he ain't little. And that little miss, she's about 3 inches taller than I am, man. That girl done growed up. She's going to be 22 years old. I can't believe it. It was yesterday. She was 12. She wrote me a letter one time when she's a little girl, sweet little girl. And I can't believe she's going to be 22. But anyway, he was in the back seat when the door flew open. And I told his mom, I said, yeah, the door flew open and he fell out and did 3 somersaults and jumped up and got back in. And she goes, really? And I said, well, I said, except for the somersault part. And she said, so he really fell out? And I go, well, except for that part too. No, he didn't fall out. But, oh, God, it's hilarious. And I got it all on video, man. I got the whole thing. It's funny. How many people? We got 135 people that are got nothing else better to do. But yeah, friends, family, and old iron. I agree, Tony. That's some good stuff. What could possibly go wrong? I know. I should have said. I should have said that. I kind of quit saying that because I'm afraid I'm going to jinx something. Every time I talk about how good that car's doing, I just hear that. Knock on wood. And you see my hat? I guess it's backwards. It looks backwards to me. I don't know if you guys see it backwards or not. Ah, yep, I'm going to stop and see Old Brown. That's my next. Well, that's not my next stop. My next stop is Greer, South Carolina. I'll be in Greer, South Carolina tomorrow, guys. Anybody lives close to there, comment on my YouTube or email me or something. But that's where I'm going to be tomorrow afternoon. It's 4 hour drive from here, and I'm not probably. I always say I'm going to sleep in, but when I don't have to be somewhere, but I never do. Last night, oh, Cindy, you still in here? I don't think I told you about this. Last night, about 2 o'clock in the morning, the fire alarm went off at the hotel. Some idiot was smoking dope in the room and set off the fire alarms. So they chased her out. The manager, she come up there, run down the hall, banging on all the doors. Everybody get out. Everybody go to the stairs. Get out. They kicked us all out to the curb. And so the fire department showed up and they cleared the building and give everybody the thumbs up and we could go back in. About the time everybody got back to bed, fire alarms went off again because some idiot was still smoking dope in the room. And I don't know, I thought about taking care of him myself, but I didn't. There's a couple of times I've refrained and restrained myself on this trip. There was another time I had to hold back. There was a guy come up. No, Rob, I didn't get way up in New England. I didn't go. He's in New Jersey, and came from Grand Rapids, Michigan, right straight down to Mr. Heavy Chevy's. But I'd like to go up there sometime in that part of the country. Ironclad Ranch. Hey, man. I started to say you're up late, but you're not. I'm the one that's up late. It's midnight here. It's midnight 05, as a matter of fact. And I should be in bed, but well, here I am. I thought I needed to check in with you guys. So yeah, every time I say I'm going to sleep in, I wind up getting up about 5 o'clock, and there ain't nothing to do except hit the road. And yeah, so with the fire alarms going off at 2:30 in the morning, I didn't get a whole lot of sleep, but I still got up and pulled out this morning because I had to be in Fayetteville to have lunch with my granddaughter. And she was supposed to send me some pictures, Cindy, and I haven't got them yet, but we took a couple pictures while I was there. And I showed her that picture that you made for me. I'll have to show you guys. My daughter did this picture for me, this old barn, and she did it on a piece of wood and burnt it. She's got some kind of burning tool it's got different tips that go on it and stuff. And boy, it's some meticulous work too. But it's really pretty. Taking good care of that. No, did I need to use any baling wire? Pardon me. No, I could have used a little bit of baling wire today to pinch off that vacuum hose. And I thought about that when I was going down the road. I'm going, man, I could have twisted up a little baling wire on there because I got some in my toolbox. But I got a little tiny pair of vice grips and I just clamped them on there and I tucked it down behind the battery cable where it goes along the floor. I just tucked it in there. It's right in there. You look tired. Well, yeah, I'm tired. I've been on the road for 2 weeks. Awesome adventure for sure. Yes, it is an awesome adventure. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'll probably never take a trip like this again. And I'm just having a blast. And I love that old car more every day. Cindy, are you still in here? I was going to tell you what's going on at home. I got somebody there watching my place, and And right before I left, I caught a skunk, and it figured out how to get in the cat door, and it was eating all of Joshy's food. So I trapped him, and I don't know. I hauled him. What state am I in, Ironclad? Well, I'm on the east. I'm looking at the Atlantic Ocean, man. My journey's complete. This part of it. Part two is going to be turning around going back home now. But my goal was to go from coast to coast, and I'm here. I pulled in today. Ironclad, you need to check out my Instagram. I put some awesome pictures of the sunset on the beach, and I was there. Waylon was there, going like this. And my friend said, "What is that, Girl Scout?" I said, "No, that's 63. That's 3 for 63 Impala." Anyway, another skunk has showed up. we trapped. They've trapped 2, and we still got 3 or 4 to go because this spring I saw a mama skunk and 6 little babies. Actually, in the ditch on the road there, right at my property. So yeah, Cindy, they caught the skunk that was getting the food while I was at your house. Well, now another one got in there because June called me and said, "Is somebody else feeding the cat?" And I go, "No, nobody but you and the girls are doing it." And well, she couldn't find his container that holds the food. I think a raccoon might have got in there because she finally found it clear across the shop. And I don't know if the skunk would have drug it that far, but the raccoon will. He tried to steal a whole sack of food one time. Anyway, yeah, Ironclad. I'm in Myrtle. I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm on the ocean. I'm on the beach, man. I drove Impala right out to the sand, edge of the sand. You ain't supposed to drive on there, but I drove right out to it, and I put my tire prints in the sand on Myrtle Beach, and it's evidence for the forensics department to use as proof that my car was there. Oh, thanks. I'm kind of liking the new wheels. Um, I think we looked at the springs. No, the mechanical advance is working, Mike. That part's working okay. It's uh, it's a vacuum canister. He said he thought there might be an adjustment in it, like there is on a modular valve on the transmission, where you put like an Allen wrench in there, and turn it. I don't know. I haven't got a chance. I need to be reading up on that. I should be studying that instead of what I'm doing here. But I just wanted to say hi to you guys. Yeah, Johnny B's basket case. You tell your wife if you ever trap one, just throw a blanket over it. And if it's dark, they won't spray. And I took it up. The sides are blocked in, so it's dark in that cage. And Harry Faber, wow, long time no see, my friend. And get across, scare some French folks. Yeah, I almost scared one French guy or whatever he was. I don't know. I almost scared one. I don't know if I'll talk about that here, but he guy came up to me and he was disrespecting me and my car and my country, and I almost went off on him, but I didn't. I go, okay, I don't have time to go to jail right now. I got to be at Mr. Heavy Chevy, so I let it go. But I swallowed hard. But I don't know if there's an adjustment in that vacuum canister or not. I'm gonna have to look into that. I need to study up on that a little bit. Yes, I am, Richard. Hey, Rich. Guy that I bought that engine from texted me today. He had no idea where I'm at, and he says, "Say, in that box of stuff, was there some transmission linkage?" And he said, "I think that." I left my hood bolts in that box too. And I said, I don't know, but I said, I'll get a hold of Rich tomorrow. And I said, he's a good guy. He'll look and see. So if you get a chance, maybe take a look and see if there's any um, hood bolts in there, and maybe some linkage that you're not going to need. If you need it, keep it. But if you don't need it, maybe he could use it. I'm trying to read comments here. Jonathan W. Yeah, I do. I do watch him. I haven't been keeping up real good lately, but I haven't been able to watch. I haven't been able to keep up with anybody on this trip. Barely. I mean, I've just been go 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 every day, and but yeah, I am. I'm halfway home. I'm on the beach. I saw the Atlantic Ocean today, and that was my goal when I started out. That was the goal. Drive that old car. That's been my dream, is to drive that old car across country, and here I am, and with no real issues. I mean, you know what? That thing sits there at 185 degrees and 55 pounds of oil pressure all day long, every day, day in and day out. 80 miles an hour across Montana all day. I did 700 miles one day, and it just hasn't. But I'm glad I put that radiator in before I left. I think that was a good move there. That was a smooth move, X-Lax. Putting that aluminum radiator in there. That old one it might have made it, but it was starting to show some little green seepage here and there, and where it had seeped or something. And so it could give way. Another thing I did was I had replaced one brake line on the back before I left, and I didn't have the other one, and I went to the parts store, and well, no, I had one. No, I bought one. It was a little bit too long, and I just kind of put a little extra hoop in it, and it's fine, But the one I took off was real bad shape. Boy, it was rotten. So I figured I better change the other one too. So I got to Mr. Heavy Chevy's, and I did that yesterday. The one I took out was in pretty good shape. I think it had been replaced at some point, but I put a brand new one in anyway. So I got all new brake lines, and I replaced that one hose in the back brakes, the rubber hose. I replaced that. So it's got new shoes and new wheel cylinders and new brake lines and new disc brakes. And boy, those disc brakes are nice. They are. Yeah, Fred Flint right there. He says, "Are you loving the new front brakes?" Yes, I am. That thing stops so nice. Pardon me. It stops straight, and it stops good and solid. And before, if you hit the brakes real hard, boy, it just lock up all four and skid, and scare everybody around. But it works really good. I really am liking the disc brakes. I'm glad I did that. I just feel like it's safer. I mean, I could have done the shoes, and I've driven it enough, but you kind of got to plan your stops, and sometimes there ain't time to plan your stops. Sometimes you just need to stop, and so now it does. No, Harry Faber, Adrian, no, it is not the first time I've seen the Atlantic. My daughter asked me that today, and I said, no, I was here and I swam in the Atlantic in 1972. And she says, there's a story there. And I said, yeah, there actually is. But it's it's the first time I've seen it in a 1963 Impala. It's not everybody gets to see the. Told my daughter, not everybody gets to see the United States through the windshield of a '63 Impala, and it looks different, than it does in some new rig. And I've been taking some more so since I left Grand Rapids. I've been taking some 2-lane blacktop, getting off the freeway some, and I'm going to do some more of that because I don't have an event to get to or anything like I did a coming across Montana, I had to get to Wisconsin by Saturday to do that event at Chevaholics. So, um, yeah, I did. I did Ironclad. I had to get there, and we had a wonderful time. Like I was saying earlier, I shook his hand, and 5 minutes later, me and him was wrenching on that old car. Had to put that heater core in. I don't know where you've been, Ironclad, but my heater core started leaking the night before I left. The night before I left, it started leaking antifreeze in my floorboard. And that was a revolting development, but I just ordered one and had it shipped. I couldn't get one. I couldn't get my hands on one for 3 or 4 days. The O'Reilly's, no, it's going to be here Monday and this and that. And everybody couldn't get it. So I got on Amazon or somewhere and I had it shipped to Matt in Wisconsin, Chevaholic. So as soon as I pulled in there, uh, yeah, shook his hand, and then he said, "Pull her in the shop. I got space for you." And he had a hole for me, and I drove her in there, and we started wrenching on it, just like we'd been working on stuff for 30 years together. It was fun. And then we had a great day the next day. And if you guys are ever up around Grand Rapids, Michigan, that's where my daughter lives, and that's where I spent about 3 days. And she took me to the Gilmore Automotive Museum. I don't know if that's exactly the right name, but Gilmore. And what a place, man. You guys got to go there if you've never been to that one. Um, it's we go out there and it's way out in the middle of nowhere, kind of, and just north of Mountain Home. Let me catch up. Tony, were you in Thayer? Was that Thayer, Missouri? Um, anyway, go to that Gilmore Museum. That is something else. It took us 3 hours to go through there, and I never seen so much high-end stuff. I mean, a bunch of Duesenbergs, not just one or two, a whole string of Packards, big old cars, luxury cars. There was a V16 there, and I got to hear a 32 Duesenberg. I fired it up because oh yeah, you got here late, Ironclad. I'm repeating everything. I'm going to see it. I'm going to see our peak on Tuesday. But that was cool to hear that old 32 Duesenberg fire, and it belonged to somebody famous, a guy named Bojangles. There was a guy that really called himself Bojangles, and that was his car. So that was kind of cool to hear that old car fire up. Where did you see the Atlantic? Well, I'm still looking at it out the window here. I'm in Myrtle Beach. I'm in South Carolina. Um, Pierce Arrow, yeah, there's Pierce Arrow. Um, yeah, there was a real inappropriate comment on Instagram, very inappropriate. So that's where that's at. But well, hi, Mrs. Ironclad. Yeah. Turn south. JJ, I don't know. I don't know about all that. Well, let's see. We got time is it here? 12:30 or 12:23. How long have I been? How long have I been on here? Too long? Oh no, I'm not headed to Florida. I'm headed to I'm headed to eastern South Carolina. Then I'm headed to Georgia. And then I'm headed to Arkansas. And then I don't know where I'm headed. Yeah, that old power wine, boy, there ain't no mistaking that. But um, I could have used a 700 R4 coming across Montana. Would have been nice to have another gear or two. But yeah, I like the sound of it. Well, thanks, guys. Um, hope the rest of your trip is great also. Well, I hope so too. And by the way, cool. Just say cool. WTBM 123 he always comments on my YouTube videos. He says, cool. Still awake after all the miles you've been logging. I know, Whiskey Creek. I'm surprised too. And I should go to bed, but I wanted to get on here and say hi to everybody. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that, James. And it's been a dream come true, and it's been everything. It's been way more than I expected it to be, and totally different than I expected it to be. It's just I don't know. I could not have imagined if I had sat down and written out what I thought would be a great trip. I would have sold myself way short because it's been far better uh, than than I could have imagined. I haven't been to Tennessee yet. I haven't been that way. I would like to see Derek, but he don't have time. He commented on my Instagram. He said he thought it was cool that I was driving that old car, but and I said, hey, I could come your way, and but he didn't answer me about that. So he thinks it's cool, but he's busy. I get it. He's got all these events to do, and now he's got a TV show to do, and he's doing all of his own videos, and I don't know how the man ever gets any sleep. As my daughter says, I run on coffee and Pennzoil. No, I run on coffee and Rotella because it's got zinc in it. That's what I run on. And then I put some more zinc in it. And I put some Lucas in it. So I'm running on all kinds of thick, oily, sticky stuff. Thanks for the rat rotting. Oh, the rat rotting made us sleep. Um, Staying to the south, going home. Um, yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm going to be in Arkansas, and then I'm kind of thinking about. I've got a couple people, a real dear friend of mine I haven't seen for a long time. Um, the guy who taught me the grafting business 42 years ago. He's in California, and I'd like to go by and see him. His health's not real good either, and so him and Brown I'd both kind of like to see. When are you going to be in South Carolina and where? Well, I'm in South Carolina right now, and I'm in Myrtle Beach. And tomorrow I'm going to be in Greer, South Carolina. Ironclad, I expect he is, most of the time. I expect he is. I think he's on a road trip most of the time. He's awfully busy, boy. I don't know how he get it all done. DD Speed Shop's another one, man, and Brett too. Half-ass customs, man. Them guys, something about them Canadians, and ah, boy, They get her done. Work a full-time job and then go out in that shop till midnight. And well, they're young, you know. Well, thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. I appreciate you watching. Did you see any squirrels? Absolutely. Saw some squirrels today. I was headed up the highway on my way to Fayetteville, and I saw something on the other side of the four-way, and I had to slam on the brakes and do a U-turn and go back, and that'll be in the video too. It's on my Instagram, Waylon_wire at Instagram. If you want to see what's going on behind the scenes, and I post every day on Instagram, kind of where I'm at and what's going on. So, okay, we got 137 people, and you guys all must be from out west because it's late here. It's 12:30 in the morning. But yeah, I don't know either, Jeff. It's beyond me. Where in Georgia? I don't know where in Georgia. I'm going to see our Peak, but I don't know exactly where he's at. I don't have that part planned out yet. I'll find out maybe tomorrow. Hey, Damon. I guess it's probably about time to shut this thing down. What do you guys think? If you're tired, kick us out and we'll understand. Yeah, I probably been following all your Instagrams. I'm in northern New Hampshire. Well, thank you, Ray. Thanks for following along. I appreciate it. Yeah, our Peak, he does love the water, don't he? He's just kind of a duck. He's an old mud duck, man. He's in that water a lot. And I don't know how he stands the summers down there, but good for him. You know, he's happy to be out of Maine and those winters. And he said he'll just watch me. Well, I've had to kind of start making snowplowing videos to kind of take up slack because he don't do it anymore. Thank you, Skagit Ed. I'm going to share some more too. I've got a lot of video. I just got to get it edited and got to get it put up. And today my son was going to help me. But it just didn't work out. I mean, he was going to help me get the videos to the cloud so I could get them on my computer at home and do the editing. But I can't. I can't see very. Oh, there. It was dark and it was darkened out the text. I don't know about that, Mike. I'm a long ways from old DD Speed Shop. I was giving him a hard time today. I said, "Yeah, you forgot about the little people. You know, since you got such to be such muckety muck, up there and rubbing elbows with the celebrities." And I was laying it on him pretty hard. I was giving him a bad time, but he come in here and he was in the chat earlier, and he kind of got even with me, and I had it coming. I deserved it. Thank you, Judd. Okay, guys, I think 136 people. You guys are diehards. There's still 136 in here, and there has been for a while now. 135. Somebody went to bed, but I think it's probably time to shut this down. Thank you, Sandy. Love you, and I'll be catching up with you. I got a little bit of catching up to do, but I'm having a good time, and I'm being safe as you can be in an old '63 Chevy. It's dips in the corners, and I love every second of it. You just got to learn how to drive. You just got to know how to drive it, but it's all right. I know. I like old DD Dan. He's a good guy, man, and he works really hard. He deserves to have 100,000 subscribers, because he sure worked at it. I will do a burnout. I've done the old Impala. It'll do a burnout, but it's a one wheel peel. It's a one tire fire. I could weld the gears. I could weld the spiders in it, I guess, but I think I'll leave it alone till I get home. Hello, Missouri. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get out of here, but videos are coming, and thanks for stopping in and saying hi. I appreciate every one of you, and I couldn't do this without you guys. So y'all have a good one. Be safe. We'll see you in a day or two. I'm gonna try and do a few more of these live shows, but I hope to get a video edited and loaded up here in a day or two. So I'm gonna head on out of here, and y'all have a good one. I can figure out how to kill this now. Here we go. All right. Appreciate you.